Welcome to Mike Tales with Midamba, another episode that we are bringing to this particular time. And today we want to explore the evolving landscape of creativity, innovation, and business. My name is Chris Midamba, and today I'm hosting Mr. Covenant Sacred. Probably, I think we should start from there. What's your name? And really, because your name is Covenant and Sacred. Maybe we should start from why is it a covenant and it's a sacred covenant?
Hello, how are you? To be honest, I don't know.
You have never asked what was the meaning? Why were you given the name?
I've asked one or two times. There's really no definite answer. So, yeah.
And you've never dared to try to just get the meaning yourself without asking anyone?
Okay, I've thought about it, but then you have these many theories around it. Yeah, but I'm also called Mondi, so I normally go by
which name do you like going with? Covenant, Sacred, or Mondi?
I don't really like Sacred.
Is it on your ID? Is Sacred on your ID?
All of them are there.
But Mondi is your dad's name, not your name.
Yeah, still my name.
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Anyway, we have a fascinating discussion ahead of us, viewers, and we just want you to tune in, stay here, and we get to learn more about data and the relationship between data and creative design, and also how to navigate the creative market in stay here. Is in the world. Let's focus on Kenya right now for now, and we will be diving into the relationship between the data and creative design, how numbers and analytics shape the art we see, and exploring the challenges and opportunities in navigating the creative market in Kenya. Joining me is, as you've heard, is Covenant Sacred Mondi. Mondi, what is your profession?
Yeah.
So that we don't, people don't think that we just. Yes, I don't have to mention it. Yes.
Yeah. So, as you've heard, my name is Covenant Omondi. I am more or less a consultant in data analytics and also creative design. Been doing that for the past 3.5 years, and worked with different brands, different companies, different people in trying to tell their story, both as far as data is concerned and as far as creative design is concerned, creativity is concerned. Mostly on the creative beat, specialize in motion design, a bit of visualizations here and there, etc. And yeah, that is what I do. Yeah.
And what's your background?
I am a graduate. I studied a bachelor's in mathematics and computer science.
So wewe ni mtu wa dhafu, unaita dhafu. Is dhafu ama mama?
Yeah, but yes.
Dhafu is a slang for a long time ago.
You're very
nowadays
old.
They call it. Yeah, dhafu is very old. Nowadays, Mao. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. Mm-hmm. You're majoring or not?
Yeah, we just call it math.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I specialize in statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So statistics is that branch or side of math that deals with data, the analytical part of math. Yeah.
All right. Let's start from this big picture here. You know, there has always been a notion that creativity is purely instinctual and free flowing, but in today's digital era, I know that is totally different. Data is playing a more significant role in shaping creativity and the output that we get from the creative design, the creative field. And how do you see the relationship between data and creative design evolving? The the the
I think before we even look at how is it evolving, we have to really understand the relationship between these two things,
yeah.
and what it has been since the fairly recent past. Because when I got into the market at the time, since people are so obsessed with data, right? You look at companies at that time wanting to hire data scientists, analysts, etc., you know. But then when you really go deep into the specific needs of these particular brands or this particular business, you find that they don't really have a problem with data. They miss that storytelling part of data, in that, like, they don't know how to present it, in a creative way, And also another major problem that I saw when I really was into the market was the creative sector. You talk about graphic design, video editing, all these things that revolve around digital marketing. We're not really instructed by data and insights. So you find, like, for example, marketing campaigns ended up yielding lesser fruit simply because you don't really understand, or you don't really take time to understand the data around the market that you want to target. Yeah, but in terms of evolution, I think we are off to a very good start, because at least right now, companies are well aware of the importance of data in instructing creativity in their daily work. Yeah. You find marketing campaigns which are more data oriented, which rely so much on data and insights in order to come up with creative stuff that suit a particular market.
Now, so how does data influences a design?
Of course it does, in a number of ways. For instance, it's very important as a designer or as a creative designer to first of all understand your target market. And sometimes this target market may be in form of numbers, not really in form of a particular cluster that you're targeting. For example, if you're targeting the youth or etc., you look at, for example, what percentage of the youth will resonate with the message you're trying to bring forth. What in that percentage, or what percentage of the population will resonate with the product you want to push. And once you know that, then you know how to present it, and you'll understand, for example, the language to push it. For instance, there's a particular population that you may not really understand. You've given a very good example of DAFO. There's a generation that does not know DAFO.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know if it is my generation that understands DAFO. I don't know.
I think yours was the last or something.
And actually, not really. I think it was not even my generation, because when I was when I was in high school, we didn't call it DAFO. I just called it DAFO because I had a cousin of mine who is way much older than me. One day came home and having a chat with fellow friends. Some of his friends, and I heard them calling, so-and-so is very, very good in DAFO. And I was like, what is that DAFO thing? And they told me it's mathematics. I'm like, oh, okay. But you see, that was I was a bit young. So DAFO should be a different generation. I don't know what we call it in my time. Probably it's my, I'm not that old anyway. Mathematics or something. Probably maths. Yeah. But anyway, now, so data. That way that for example, what you've said about how it influences design and people like using user behavior insights and to influence a particular creative campaign. or design project, like they have to know what they're designing for and how many people will resonate with whatever they are designing. And do you think many really follow that? And do you think many businesses as have been able to incorporate that in whatever they do in design and marketing, for example?
Sadly, no.
Mhm.
And the reason is Kenyan businesses are, let me call them stingy.
Stingy, yeah.
Because yes, because they don't really love investing. They look at things like data as luxuries,
Mhm.
something you just, it's just, you can just have it in form of a show off or something of that sort. And so you find that, for instance, many mid-scale, small-scale businesses, they just call, can you do this for me? Can you design this for me? Can you do this for me, etc. But
Mhm.
they don't really understand their market. And I think
Mhm.
that's normally, it's a problem, because especially when you're looking at businesses which target the digital space,
Mhm.
you find that without data or insights, you end up targeting the wrong people. Or you end up targeting
Mhm.
people, for example, who cannot buy your product, who cannot buy your services. And so in the long run, you would have thought that you're saving money without necessarily investing in data, but then you end up losing more.
I
Yeah.
think I should take you back a little bit to, probably we should have started from this point. Really, what is data? Because I know you've gone a little bit into the details, but what is data for anyone who just joined or want to watch this thing and is not understanding from the onset what are these people talking about? What is data?
Mm-hmm. Very important to know, because I think when it comes to data, people think it's just numbers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But data is simply facts and figures
Mm-hmm.
revolving around a particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, being facts and figures, of course, it doesn't mean they have to be numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They can be statements, they can be insights, etc., etc. So it's very important for you, even in the collection of data.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you look at the surveys people normally do, they don't really involve numbers. Sometimes they ask you, Chris, what did you eat today?
Mm-hmm.
Or what did you do today? Or if you tick yes or no, yeah, positive, negative statements, things like that. All that is
Mm-hmm.
data. Yes. So I mean,
So you're saying, for
yeah,
me, if for example, let's give it an example with the business field. If I am a business
yes.
person and I'm selling, let's say, I'm selling some t-shirts. Let's say, let me go with the t-shirts. And I want to do, I want, let's say my business has not been doing well, and
Yes.
and probably I've come to realize that maybe I've not been doing enough of marketing, and so
Mm.
as a business person, what I should do is what I should not do is just look for a designer, a graphic designer or whatever, to do a kind of a design promo without having the right data. Is that what I'm understanding? What?
Absolutely, absolutely,
So the
absolutely.
right
Because
data of the
yes,
buyers, those people I'm targeting.
your target market, yes, your target
So so so
market.
for example, because we normally say, for example, if I'm selling, I'm trying to target broader kind of the different age brackets, uh different maybe men and women, youths. So the data will be able to analyze for me where I'll be able to sell more, or it is just for me to understand the market, how it goes.
Of course, there's one very famous saying we have in data is, oh, you've already heard it once in a while, numbers don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, for you, we always believe like, for you to really reach the right people, you really
Mm-hmm.
have to understand the metrics behind your market.
Mm-hmm.
Because gone are the days when you
Yeah.
just throw the net into the sea without really thinking, like,
Yeah.
where will you catch more fish? You're from the
Mm-hmm.
lakeside, you understand these things. You know,
Yeah,
if you don't.
but I've never been to the lake to fish though.
Oh.
I've never been to the lake to. I think. Yes, I'm from the lakeside. Yes, but I've never really been to. I think that I've gone to the lake to visit, just to see the body of water and to eat some fish along the beach. But that's it, and then ride a boat inside, and then not going too far because I'm also scared of that too much waters without anything to hold. But anyway, so this life you only live once, and you have to be careful. So
Yeah.
I haven't been too much of fishing, but I understand. So you're saying that if, for example, in the aspect of fishing, it's no longer the traditional thing that people used to do. They just throw in their nets and run around
Yes.
with the nets and leave it there, and then come and just collect. So nowadays you have to target, know where the fish are, know at what time or what. So many things to put into consideration.
Because again, it's important to note that nowadays people are selective buyers.
Yeah.
And people being selective buyers, they will really go for things which are very necessary. And so when you end up investing a lot of your energy on a market that will not yield a lot of fruit, then that is how you make losses, and that is how you end up sabotaging your business or your brand. Yeah.
All right.
Or you end up looking for flashy influencers or influences or trending stuff, which may work, but in the short term it may work, but in the long term it's not a suitable business model. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what question? Yeah, this is the question I wanted to ask now. Now, some designers,
Yeah.
may feel that relying too much on data stifles their creativity.
Yeah.
So how do you advise? How would you advise someone to balance data-driven insights with artistic freedom? You also have to be, you have a freedom to really show us your what you can do, and then also data here is also controlling what you can do. How would you advise someone to kind of merge the two?
That's a very important question, because it's a very important question because it reminds me of the time I was employed. It's almost like 2 years ago. Yeah, because you are in a place where, like for me, the place I was in, I was in a place where I was allowed to just express myself creatively, completely, all right, without any barriers, without anything. And it was a coincidence because I was also kind of in charge of the data stuff. So I used to give myself insights, giving myself insights, but also at the same time I breached the barriers of data around data. I just started to think creatively, which is a good thing actually, because I always feel creative designers need to express their creativity fully with all manner of freedom. We have freedom of speech, we have freedom of expression, and so you really need to enjoy these freedoms. However, I always believe that an accomplished portfolio is one that does its job. And so as a designer, sometimes you look back at your work. For example, for me, when I look back at my work, I look at the impact. How has it impacted that company? Something that you can tell someone that at least this project or this particular branding campaign I led to this and this and this metrics, increasing. And data is a catalyst when it comes to, success in creativity. So in as much as it's good to, be free, express yourself, it's important also not to neglect data, because data is a catalyst to a creative career. It's a good catalyst actually, yeah. So I don't know. Did you do chemistry? Are there good catalysts and bad catalysts? I cannot really remember.
No. Let's not go there. I don't want to talk about my chemistry knowledge. I really don't want to.
Maybe I misspoke. Just have.
But probably there are good and
Uh,
bad cut. I think I should have had something like that. It's many years since I did chemistry. I've been doing
Fair enough.
chemistry, for cooking and mixing things, but that's too much chemistry. But anyway, now shifting gears, really, so shifting gears to the Kenyan market,
So
the Kenyan creative market, or industry, if
yes,
you like. How would you describe the current state of the creativity or the creative markets in Kenya?
I think so. It's pretty vibrant, to be
Mm.
honest.
Right.
And I think this is something that companies really underestimate the
Mhm.
power of creativity and the creative economy in the
Mhm.
country. Because especially now with things like AI and various automations, it's easier to be creative, you know? Like for
Mhm.
instance, nowadays to do animations, for example, in software like Blender, or Maya, it's easier because there are a lot of automation plugins and stuff, Yeah, even in
Mhm.
Photoshop and After Effects, all this stuff, So it's
Mhm.
easier for you. It's easier for you to be creative over a short period of time. And also nowadays machines are powerful. Long are the days when you could wait for a render for like 10
Even
hours or something of that sort.
yeah,
Nowadays you
yeah.
just wait in minutes. Yeah.
I
And so,
remember one time I was before you finish that point. I think I remember one time I was editing somebody's a wedding. It was during my early days in the design industries. I was still in
yes.
school, and I used to have this small laptop, this mini laptop.
Yeah, even
I can't remember the brand, but it was a small one with a RAM of 2 MB, 2 GB, 2 GB
wow.
RAM, and what, and I don't know. And I used to
Yeah, even
really force it to run the Photoshop, Adobe Premiere,
to
After Effects. So
poor
one day
machine.
after rendering, after doing the design, and I left it to render. One day it rendered that wedding for 3.5 days. I just make
Wow.
sure that it's not the power is connected. It's not it's not turning off. And the moment sometimes the power fluctuation in Kenya,
Yeah, even
the moment it does that, then you have to start again. You have to give yourself another 3 days or 4 days for it to finish rendering. Ah, And I will do it because anyway you're looking for money, and you don't have enough machine. You have to force that machine to
of
work
course.
things out. And
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I know, I understand that part of the nowadays machines are better than it was the other day, but also it depends on what machines you're having. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
even true. Yeah,
So
even in now in your in your case, right now it's easier. You can do like 3 weddings. You can edit 3 weddings a day.
mm,
Yeah, even
so
yeah,
you
even
see.
so there's more cash
Mm,
flow in the creative market. Yeah. However, I think the major stumbling block should be most most mid-scale to small scale and mid-scale businesses do not really
mm,
see the need to invest in the creative economy. Yeah, even and you know when you even
mm,
look at openings, for example, for graphic designers, video editors, etc. Yeah,
yeah.
even a bit few. They're not that many considering the amount of work, and also when you look at also the working conditions, on average, they're not very good. Yeah, even
Mm,
yeah, and so I feel that the creative economy is a very vital aspect of
mm,
business. Yeah, even especially in a country like Kenya, which has a vast population of young people, yeah, who are openly creative. Yeah,
mm,
and so yeah, so it's a very crucial aspect in the Kenyan market. I mean, which business does not need graphic designers or editors or this or those stuff, etc., etc. I think
mm.
every business wants such people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And many creatives struggle with monetization and finding sustainable business model. Now, what strategies have you seen work for
Yeah, even
Kenyan creatives who are looking to commercialize their talents?
yeah, even I think number one, you really have
Mm,
to be consistent. because again, it's a very competitive space.
Yeah.
Very, very competitive. We are very talented people, talented designers.
We are
It's
very
very
many.
competitive. Yes, you really have to be you really have to be very consistent, always upskilling, And then, of course, building a strong online presence is also very important because you have to show your work to the world. Yeah, and I think building a strong online presence is something that it's quite difficult for some people, yeah? Especially people who normally have this thing called the imposter syndrome.
The
Yeah.
imposter syndrome.
Yes. Yeah, even someone who feels that, this thing is not... Have you ever edited something and then you're like, this thing is not good. Why should people see it? Or you upload it and then you remove it.
So does it mean that I have imposter syndrome? I've been doing that a lot.
Of course, you do.
Personally, for example, other instances that I think if I edit something or if I
Yes.
I do the voiceover of something,
Yeah, even
I'll play it like I don't know how many times. I'll play it and then again on a video, play it, put it on TV, play it again, repeat it on my phone, play it and play it and play it. And until I'll be seeing a lot of problems. And then I'm tired. Just going to send it to the client. I've seen the mistakes. But if the client does not see these mistakes, I'm just tired. I'm not,
yeah.
because I've played it more than I don't know how many times. I can play it. I can record and then listen. I'm like, no, I did not pronounce that word very well. Let me just do it. And if, for example, in voiceover, you have to redo everything. If you're not that much
True.
to maintain the stress and intonation and the, everything. Because if you record something and then you realize you did not mention something, you cannot just come and repeat that sentence alone. The voices will be totally different.
Yeah, you have to repeat it, the whole script.
So I've been listening and listening. I listen, and sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of this thing.
Yeah, even
And then when you send it to the client says it's powerful. They're like, oh, like, all right. This is the payment details. Just go ahead and pay.
Yeah, even
And I have a lot of designs, a lot of voiceovers I've done, a lot of whatever I've done that I've never posted on social media. Because to me, personally, I've never posted. Maybe the clients have posted on their own, but on my end, I've never. Because I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
so I'm sick, eh? I have been.
No, it's not really sick. It's actually, to be fair, it's actually normal. I was looking at my repository today, and I realized that for voiceovers alone, I think I have 126 that I've never released. I've never put online. 126. I was counting. I was like, wow. I was really amazed, But then, I also experience that a lot because sometimes, like, you do something and you're like, no, I didn't do it very well. And then the client is like, wow, magnificent work, Can we work with you again? etc. So there's that aspect in the creative economy. You really have to navigate that because at the same time,
but I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to have that imposter syndrome because you will always look at yourself that you're not yet there. So you keep on pushing yourself to do it, to be there. And the more you do that, I think the more you perfect yourself.
Yeah, even that is the biggest advantage. Yeah, you always seek to better yourself, to do better. Yeah. Because sometimes when you do a perfect thing, you also relax. You're like, yeah, even I need it. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Can we share some insights on pricing, client acquisition, maybe or leveraging digital platforms in networking?
Yeah, even. Okay, it's very interesting because most of my clients are people I get from referrals.
Yeah.
So clients refer me to other clients, other people. So that's how I get clients. Yeah, even and when it comes to pricing, it's very important for you to have a very strict policy. Not really a very strict, but a firm. Let me say a firm policy, not a strict, a firm policy. A firm policy on payment, on things like down payments, etc. Because sometimes clients, when they see you're too harsh, they may never come back. Yeah, even and when you're too soft, they'll think you're a joke. So it's important to get the perfect balance on pricing. And also it's very important for you to, for you to have legal backup in the form of contracts, proposals. Yeah, even just in case somebody defaults your payments. Yeah. So it's very important. I think those, especially the legal aspect, yeah, even in an economy like Kenya, sometimes it's normally overlooked because when you look at most creatives who do this as freelancers, so they don't really have businesses and companies. And so sometimes they're just hired on gig basis. And when it's a gig, you're like, it's not that you have official papers, you don't have tax certificates, you don't have what. Yeah. So yeah, even it's good to have a farm policy right from the onset. I think that is what can really help someone. Yeah. Yeah, even
Okay.
Mhm.
Technology and digital platforms have transformed rather how creative reach their audiences.
Yeah.
How are Kenyan designers, artists, and content creators taking advantage of these tools to expand their reach? Do you think they're doing enough?
Yeah,
Or
even they are, to be honest, they are. There are very, very cool designers out here and animators and I'm sure you've seen some of them who really use social media very vastly to advertise their products or advertise their services. Yeah, even as I said, as a creative, it's very important for you to be out there if you really want to, if you really want to reach, you want to have a wide reach. It's very important for you to be out there. So part of being out there is by using these digital platforms like TikToks and everything. Especially when right now, I remember I saw a study. The average Kenyan is normally at least 5 hours a day on TikTok. Yeah, even
Yeah, it's addictive. It is very addictive.
yeah. So yeah, it's very important for you to leverage on those on such platforms for your digital presence as a creative. Yeah. But again, in as much as you can do that, it's also very important for you to do a good job. Yeah, even to build a very good relationship with your clients, because
you must stand out.
Like for me, yes, like for me, most of the clients I work for are people I've been working for the past 2 or 3 years. And so you find there's that relationship. If anything happens, they're like, can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? So I'm in that way, as a good person, you'll also stay in business for a while, and you'll also meet other people because they'll keep on referring you to people. Yeah. And also, it's very important for you to appreciate client feedback, because mostly as a designer, yeah, even one of the things I don't really like is when I do something, and then the client is like, it's good, but change this or change the music or change these colors or something of that sort. Sometimes it bugs you. Yeah, even I always say you should take all those stuff as you should take it positively and take it positively and build a good relationship with them.
But there are some clients who are really not understanding.
Yeah.
For example, I've done a lot of designs as well myself, a lot of videos, voiceovers, and everything.
Yeah, even
clients can take. You've given a client, you've sent him. Probably you have maybe how long does a client have before raising questions and corrections? I think everyone should have that. How long? Because I think if you leave it open, sometimes they take several days or weeks, and then they have consulted the entire community, and everyone comes with their own thing. Oh, change this. You need to change this. You need to change this. I didn't see so and so. I need to see this thing colors. And once something like that happens, a lot of control. Is it now the wengi chombo wenda mrama, because everyone has their own inputs.
Yeah, even
for me, I think clients also should upscale the game. If you have sent something, you have been waiting for a designer to finish, take the shortest time possible, consult with a few people, with maybe your office team, and then come up with the final decision and give the creative department easy time. Because if, for example, you send a client something, and then client take probably expect within maybe 24 hours, maybe for the client to watch that thing or to look at that thing again and again and have a discussion with the creativity or the office team, whatever, or the people, the close people, because
Yeah, even
when you design something,
yeah, even
you design something, and once some clients come and say good, perfect, and then only later on to raise other corrections, and you're like, you just said perfect, powerful. What happened?
yeah,
And this happens because the clients take it and
yeah, even
send it to other people who are not even part of the business, by the way. They really
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even know
yeah, true.
what your business is all about. And they raise other correction.
Yeah, even
And client will want to justify their correction and raise it with you.
yeah, even
And sometimes it takes after a long time, and you know it, and you're like, this client said it was perfect. What has happened? And I realized probably because at the first instance when you send this, you have understood your client, and he said perfect, which means the target audience expectation has been met. The moment the client takes this and send it to other people who are not even the target audience, someone who is not even interested in whatever the client is doing, but will raise the correction, it messes and it waters down this thing. Yes. And the creativity is gone. Probably the creativity that you had at the first time you are designing or doing it. And a lot of correction that has been raised later and sadly raised way much many days later. Even if they'll be paying you to do the correction, sometimes the creativity part is already, if it can be raised instant some few days, I think 24 hours or something. I think that's really not
exactly.
the Tesha clients.
I know, but that comes back to the thing I said about policy. It's very you set up a policy on revisions. Yeah,
Mm,
like for me, I normally set a policy. After a second revision, you have to pay
mm,
70% of the total project cost. So
mm,
that way also, the client is legally binded to give you either fewer corrections or more expensive corrections. I think that's
mm,
I think that's so long as you stick to the policy, you'll be well and good. I think
mm.
that's yeah.
Can you discuss some trends in AI and digital tools and data-driven decisions making in the creative space?
Um yeah, of course AI has revolutionized every sector,
Mm,
virtually every sector in the world. And most importantly, it has made creativity become quite easy and quite fast.
mhm.
As we said, gone are the days when you could wait for a render for like 3 days or even 1 hour. Nowadays you wait for a render in minutes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
nowadays, for instance, for you to do designs, for you to do motions, it's way easier with AI tools, plugins, and such stuff.
Mhm.
And and also when it also comes to content, like there are various AI tools that you can use to get content for design. Because remember,
Mm,
gone are the days when you will sit in a boardroom as a marketing department, or for instance, you have been called as a consultant to go and sit with the marketing department, and they sit down and they tell you which content to put online or what to put on that design. You know,
mm,
nowadays with AI, it's very and of course there are various tools which you use to link both. You can link the insights you get from data
mm,
that would give you the correct content to push as far as design is concerned. And
mm,
so it's a very interesting time as a creative to really leverage these tools in order to enhance your workflow, you know, to even
mm,
work faster, and then you can multitask, you know. I was talking to a friend just recently, and he was telling me that
mm,
gone are the days when you could sit as an employed graphic designer and just do a particular set of work for that company alone. You can sit down in one company and you're doing gigs or you're doing work for different companies at the same time because it's
mm.
faster for you to do that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
faster. However, as I said, it's a very competitive economy, and
Mm,
so you also have to use it in a smart way, you know. be unique in your style. Remember also, in as much as there's AI and everything, it's also good to be authentic, So
Authentic, yeah.
it's good to be authentic and be original in your craft, Yeah.
Mm. Hmm. Be authentic and original in your craft. For young creatives just in Kenya or starting
Mhm.
the thing on software in Kenya, what's the advice do you have for them, especially about thriving in this industry?
I would just say be authentic and be original.
Don't copy paste.
Yeah.
But with the world of AI, they will just most of them will boom boom.
Yeah. But authenticity is very good, because I mean, when you do an authentic thing, it will even, of course, with the help of AI, of course. I'm not
Mm,
saying you ignore it in totality. Yeah, but I'm just
mm,
saying it should just be a flank. Should flank your
mm,
work, and
mm,
also you should be consistent and be smart, because I think that is also one place, one challenge that creatives normally face.
mm,
For instance, when it comes to seeking gigs and the opportunities, you end
mm,
up seeking the
mm,
wrong people. You know, for instance, you cannot be a designer and you go and seek, for example, you want to go and get a gig from a company that has a whole marketing department, a whole marketing, marketing office, because definitely there are people who are there who can do it. You know,
mm,
yeah. You also need, as a designer, you need to sit down and look at your target market. Who can you target? You know,
mm,
and it involves a lot of deep research, inquiries, and all this stuff. And that way you won't drain yourself into, walking around looking for opportunities that may not be there. Yeah. Because also, like, burnout is
absolutely.
real. Burnout is very real, especially in the creative industry. There are
Mm,
people who just give up or who take a break for like 6 months or 8 months or 1 year, simply because they burnt out. They burnt out. And they burnt out because they were looking for stuff and they were not really finding it. And part of the reason why they're not finding it is because they're not smart enough to identify their target audience or their target market. Yeah. So that now loops into the whole aspect of data. As a creative designer, it's very important for you to not to ignore data. You don't really have to be a data scientist, or you don't really have to be a data analyst to really understand your market. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think even as we start winding down, probably this may last or second last question. Creativity cannot be taught. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if I can go, if I can borrow something from my personal life,
Yeah.
it's true. It cannot be taught. Because, like, everything I do, I wasn't
Mm,
taught. I wasn't taught by anyone.
mm,
I was
mm,
not taught. Like, I just figured things out on my own. I remember um I remember sitting down and looking at concepts, As I said, I started with video editing. So I looked at videos, how people edited videos, and I was like, I really want to do that, and then you end up teaching yourself. And nowadays with
mm,
the internet and also AI tools, it's very easy for you to teach yourself very many things.
mm.
And yeah, so that is how I ended up knowing what I know. The only thing I found difficult is teaching someone else. It's very difficult for me to teach someone else, like, effectively. Like, I get people who normally tell me, can you teach me this? Can you teach me that? And then I'm like, I may not be
Yeah.
a good teacher, but then I refer them to the resources that I use. And so, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe it's just me. But also, as a creative, it's also
Yeah.
important for you it's also important for you to impart your skills to others.
Mm, mm,
There's a difference between imparting your skills and teaching someone.
mm,
Imparting your skills simply means like showing somebody your strategies. What did you do for you to know what you know? Yeah. Because when you impart your skills to someone else, it also betters you. You also get to uh, research on newer ways in which you can better your skill set, in which you can learn more skills, in which you can be a better designer, a better producer, a better analyst, and all this stuff. Yeah. Can I give people a secret?
Yeah, please go ahead. Even as you finish.
Yeah. Midamba here was kind of my teacher somehow.
How?
Not so long ago. But then I don't know what happened to that program, but it really helped me because
You're making me really scratch my head. I want to know what kind of what did I teach you?
Okay, let me remind you then. At the time, I think it was 2021, if I'm not wrong. Late 2021 or maybe early 2022. Yeah. So I remember you started this thing like a boot camp for a few people, and you're like, you want to mentor a few people here and there in editing and stuff. At the time, I had very basic skills in editing, and I remember I was a very bad voiceover artist. I was terrible. I listened to my audios back then. I normally have them rearranged. Every year I arrange the voices that I've done, for instance. So I listened to my pieces in 2021 and early 2022, and I'm like, oh, that's not me. Because
it happens.
I was terrible. It was terrible, yeah. But then,
the clan
what you did, I remember what you did. You looked us into resources that we could use at the time, and they were very, very helpful. You didn't really teach us, like telling us do this or do that, because of course you were away. So you didn't tell us, do this, do that, or buy this or buy that. I noticed many opportunists in online. They like telling people, if you want to do this, then go and buy this specific machine, or go buy this specific microphone, or look for this specific thing, and come, I will teach you, Yeah. But I always say creativity is all about somebody's mind. What you teach me may not really work for me if I don't figure things out on my own. And so, so it's important for you to learn things on your own. Yeah.
I didn't know that I shared some kind of knowledge with some people.
Yeah, you did.
But anyway, that's so good to know. I think that's the best point to finish this session. Maybe one day we'll have another one to discuss more deeper to other topics as well. But I don't know. Do you have a social media handle? I don't know. Do we really need to do that anyway? Do you have a place?
I have email.
Yeah, email, social media handles. I don't know how if someone wants to really get into, because you do also this, you do data, you do those design and everything, and maybe someone has just bumped into this video and want to know how can I reach you to do this, and maybe want to get to see your portfolios as well.
Yeah. You can get me on LinkedIn, Covenant Omondi. Yeah, that's who I am there. And then on email, coveomondi@outlook.com. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm one of those designers who are not on social media, who love working in secret.
You are on LinkedIn. Why are you not on TikTok? Why are you not on Twitter?
I don't even have the TikTok app on my phone.
All right, anyway, people are different. If it is working out for you, well and good.
Yeah, but I think I'll join all of these fine days. You never know.
Take your time. Man. Take your time, man. That place is very addictive. Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for your time. I think that wraps up this episode for us. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like, share, and join us and get more of engaging conversation. Until next time, stay creative and be innovative.